Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today is gonna be my Pandos Eyeshadows update, and I'm not gonna take long on the intro because I know you guys wanna see what I did and what I did not do on this project. This is my first time doing this project, and the way that I'm doing it is as a remix, as a pan that palette slash Pandos Eyeshadows. But I'm having a lot of freedom doing this project because my rules, a few of them are that if I hit pan in one palette, whether it's the eyeshadow that I chose or not, I will be rotating, or I'll be able to rotate the palette if I want to. Every single month I will have 5 eyeshadow palettes, 4 that are pre-made eyeshadow palettes, and 1 that is gonna be my Franken palette with my Natasha Denona shadows. My rules are maybe a little bit different because my project of the year is a Shop My Stash year. I wanna be able to use my entire collection of makeup because I've noticed that when I do Project Pan, I just forget about the rest of my collection, and then I finish a lot of products, but a lot of them are unused and going bad. If you wanna know more in detail, you can watch my intro, and I have a goal this year to hit pan in 25 eyeshadows. Last year I hit pan in about 50 eyeshadows, but I want to hit pan in at least 25 eyeshadows since I'm going to be rotating and it's not going to be only my Natasha Denona shadows. So if you want to see my update and how I did for this first Pandos Eyeshadows Pan That Palette remix, then just keep on watching. I want to give a shout out to Alexi. She was the one who created the Pan Those Eyeshadows project, even though I'm not doing it exactly as she is. Everyone let me know on my intro that she's doing it this year because I think she didn't do it for the past 2 years. So yeah, you can go and check her out. I will leave her channel link below. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the video. The palettes that I chose for last time were the ABH Jacky Eyena, the Carly Bible by Anastasia, the Amar by Anastasia, then the Ribera palette, and then my Franken palette, which is the one that I created with Natasha Denona shadows. For the ABH palettes, I think the only one that you can still find is the Amar one, and maybe the Jacky Eyena, it comes in a set. I think they still have it, but maybe they don't. So I wanted to show you the progress that I made, and I think I made great progress, but I wanna show you the palette that I'm gonna keep on my project exactly as it is, and it's my Franken palette. I told you guys that I was gonna be rotating this palette monthly, but that if I didn't want to, I wouldn't. And the reason why I'm not gonna add any other eyeshadows and remove some of the eyeshadows is because I'm about to hit pan in, I think, about 3 eyeshadows. This one right here from the Safari palette, and then these 2 right here from the Love palette. And this was the eyeshadow that was on the project as the main eyeshadow to use, and these I use every day, but these are hard to hit pan on. It takes a while, and it was basically brand new, and this is from the Tropic palette. And I've been using also this one from the Bronze palette, this one from the Sunrise palette. So I've been playing around with this eyeshadow palette a ton. That's the way that I hit pan on eyeshadows. So since I don't really want to change anything from this eyeshadow palette, I won't. And I will keep this one another month the way it is. I've been even using the colors to make pop-of colors or to do pop-of colors on my eyeshadow looks. So yeah, this one will stay the same, and I've been just loving the way I set it up. Another one that I'm keeping, even though I don't like it, don't love it, but I just really wanna remove it after I hit pan on, is the Ribera palette. So this one, the color that I was meant to use was Cans. This had like an overlay on top of it, so I had to remove it. I'm wearing today Shook in Tone, which was from the Jacky Eyena palette as a pop of color on my lower lash line, and that's the one that I've been using consistently just to try and hit pan on that one. But this one didn't blow my mind, and I have to say the Jacky Eyena palette, I have tons of things to say about that one. So yeah, these I haven't used most of the palette, but I've used Yacht, and I've used Cans, I've used also Palermo, then Estate and Palm. But most of the palette I haven't used yet, and I want to get more use out of it. You can see that there's a dip in Yacht, but I just want to get more use out of it before putting it back in my drawer and rotating and changing it for another palette. Now for the three palettes that I'm removing, I heat pan in every single one of them, and I'm so excited. Even though I only heat pan in one of the eyeshadows that I was supposed to, I heat pan in other eyeshadows, and that for me it's enough. I truly don't need to heat pan in the exact eyeshadow that I put on the color scheme. The color scheme helps me use that eyeshadow at least once, but what I want to do is use the entire palette. So this is the Amar Easy palette, and as you can see, and it's no surprise, if I keep these for longer, I would heat pan in New Yorker as well. I heat pan in OG, and this is basically like burnt orange from the Soft Glam and from the Modern Renaissance. So it's just one of those shades that I can use as a crease shade or as a transition shade every day. But this eyeshadow palette was pretty nice because I used Wasted, Anastasia, Barb, Liddy, Cupcake, Dragon, which was the eyeshadow. Dragon was the eyeshadow, but I truly don't like that shade because it's too yellow for me. Then I used OG, New York, 1988, BK, Jordana. So I did use most of the palette during this month, and that for me is enough. And hitting pan in one eyeshadow, that's just amazing for me. You can see how the palette is looking, and I will make sure to insert clips of the looks that I filmed. I think I filmed about 5 looks, not a tutorial, but the way my eyeshadow look turned out, and I promised that I would do at least 3, so I think I did 5. You can see different looks that I created with this palette. I loved putting these palettes in the project because I hate having eyeshadow palettes without pan in my collection. This is the Jacky Eyena palette, and I heat pan in Shuki Tone, which was basically the eyeshadow that randomly came up for my first color scheme. But to be honest, I didn't like this palette at all. And when I first got this palette, I said that the pigmentation was amazing. I don't know if this is going bad. I don't think so because I haven't had it that long. I have older Anastasia eyeshadows that are amazing. But this one, oh my goodness, I just found that every single shade that I was going to use, every shimmery shade that I was going to use needs to be wet or needs to have something just to grab onto, because you swatch them, you swatch this eyeshadow and it looks beautiful, but then you have to apply it with your finger, because if you apply it with a brush, most of the color will not have a payoff on the eyelid when you grab it with a brush. I know that the mattes are pigmented because they are. Oh my goodness, these shimmery shades, at least these two and this one, it's so bad. So bad. I didn't wet it. I don't like to use my eyeshadows wet. I just don't. So I used it until I hit pan on it, which was today, doing this pop of purple. But I'm so disappointed with this palette. I love Ginger. It's a beautiful shade. Credit. I love the mattes, but even Lituation, it's nice, but you have to work a lot to make them look the way you want them to look on the eyelids. I don't know why. I don't know if I changed my mind about it, or if last year using only Natasha Denona shadows changed my mind about a lot of things, but I don't think so, because Soft Glam is still wonderful, and that one is older than this one. So yeah, I'm gonna do a close-up. I have a lot of progress in Sam. I use Soleil, I use Shookington, I use Trust Issues, I use Credit, Lituation, Ginger, Big Wig. I use most of the palette. I just wasn't impressed with it. Siam is an eyeshadow that I would have already hit pan on if it performed the way I wanted to. It's the eyeshadow that I have right here in the middle, but when you use it on its own, you have to build it. You have to make sure that you build it, you have to wet it, and then apply it with your finger. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Then for the Carly Bible palette, this one is already gonna go. And for this one, I had 2 shades for my color scheme, Bible and Jode. Jode I only use once. I don't love that eyeshadow. And then Bible, even though I could have hit pan on it, I prefer to use oranges as transition colors. But this was basically the palette that I use the most of the 4 ABH palettes that I put in this project, and this is in a way the most boring. I think when I ranked my ABH eyeshadow palettes, I ranked this one the lowest. I don't know, but I think so. So yeah, this one, you can see it right here. It also has a few issues with pigmentations when it comes to a few eyeshadows, but this one is so beautiful. Aura was the one that I hit pan on first, and then Bolly was the other one that I hit pan on, and you can see that I have 2 pans on it, and that's nice because I had these 2 eyeshadows in the project, so hitting pan in 2 other shades is nice. And also I have dips in Bear, Moo, Chai, Cindy, Bowie, so I truly use this palette a ton. I just know that these 4 eyeshadows right here I don't love, but it's just a color scheme. It's just a color scheme that doesn't talk to me, doesn't speak to me. But I wanted to give you a close-up of the palette and how it's looking right now after being basically brand new. Aura, I think it was my most used eyeshadow of the month. I just love pinks on my eyes. And then Bolly was really interesting because it's a beautiful, beautiful nude with little speckles of glitter, but it looks beautiful on the eyes as a cut crease shade just to set the concealer. It's just perfect. So that means that on this first update, I have hit pan in 4 eyeshadows. So I have hit pan in 1 eyeshadow from Jacky Eyena, 2 from the Carly Bible, and 1 from the Amar palette. And I know I'm about to hit pan in a lot of eyeshadows from my Franken palette. So now I'm gonna add 3 palettes, and I'm hoping that I can get to know them better. I don't know if I will hit pan on them or just keep them throughout this rotation, but I just wanted to show them to you. I don't want any drama right here because I don't support this brand, but they were gifts and I just wanna use them. I'm not gonna waste them. I'm not gonna pass them on to anyone else, but I just have to show them to you because I wanna put them in the project to use them while I just got them. Okay, so I have here the Jawbreaker palette by Jeffree Star. If you guys know my channel, I haven't followed Jeffree Star since I think ever. When I decided I think to follow him when I was living in New York because it was something different for me. He was doing different looks and it was sort of a different channel, and I stayed subscribed to him I think about a month. It wasn't for me. At one point I bought lipstick because Jacqueline Hill recommended it, and I finished that lipstick completely. It was a nude lipstick, liquid lipstick. I love that lipstick. And then I just wasn't interested in the brand because of the person that was behind it. But at some point I wanted an eyeshadow palette from him. But then I wasn't gonna just support him and whatnot. But then I got 2 palettes as a gift. I think it's because of a sale that they had on Beautylish that you got to have 1 palette and then they would send 2 palettes or something like that. But I got them as gifts. So this is the Jawbreaker. And this doesn't look like me at all. You guys know me. But it's an eyeshadow palette that I think brings a lot to the table when it comes to my makeup artistry kit because it's colorful. I don't know how they perform because I've only swatched the white one and I've only swatched the brown one and put my finger on top of these 2 shades. I hate the names of the shades because even though NARS has weird names, these are just over the top for me. Over the top. I just love the colors in theory. So I want to see if I'm able to use them, if I'm able to create fun looks. And even if I do looks with these palettes, you can use any eyeshadows that you have that are colorful. I just don't have anything like this in my collection. I want to see how it goes. And if not, I think this will be mostly used on my makeup artistry kit on the few clients that want colorful looks. But I think the packaging is pretty. I just hate that one person can ruin a brand that can be nice because this second palette that I'm going to show you, I hate the packaging. I hate it. I hate it a lot. But I love the eyeshadows. I've used it about 3 times and I think I could use these eyeshadows every single day. It's just shameful that this person is just racist, hateful, dramatic, that he doesn't even want to make you support his brand. So it's just sad. So yeah, this is the Orgy palette. Like I said, I hate it. Maybe the name I would get, but I just hate the art and everything. I just don't like it. But it's just what it is. If you like it, don't be offended. It's just me. But the colors of this palette, this just speak to me. This is a palette that I will for sure use a lot. You guys know how I feel about my Viva palette. and this is all mattes. I know that I can take this one with me in my makeup artistry kit and I will use it a ton. I want to get to know the formula more because the 5 or 6 eyeshadows that I've used so far, they perform nicely. If you guys want to see a review on it, separate from the drama and separate from opinions that I share with you guys. I don't know everything because I don't know everything in depth, but one of you told me and I did a little bit of research because I don't like doing research on this type of stuff. Wayne Goss said something at one point. He did a video on it that if we wanted to stop the drama in the beauty channels, we should just not even watch the videos and we should just not even comment on those videos. Even if it was to say something to defend someone else, that will give it more views and more everything. So I don't want to support the drama. So even if you guys want to let me know things about the brand, you can leave it below. I will be happy to know more about the brand and why it's not good, why you love it, why you hate it. I don't want to watch the drama videos because I think that has tainted the beauty community. So that's it for the disclaimer. So these 2 eyeshadows are gonna be on this project because they're new. And then this one, that was the one that I purchased. I wanted to put it here because I want to use it more. I don't know, you guys, I haven't done a review on this one. I used it only once and it's Natasha Denona. But is it only me? Because I hate that this doesn't come off the packaging. And that means that I'm not gonna be able to put them if I create a Franken palette. These just was so disappointing. I didn't know that. I thought you could just remove them from the pans and create your own mini palette if you wanted to. This is so disappointing. So yeah, I want to use this one more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a random number for each palette and then we're gonna come up with the color scheme for this month. Okay, so I'm doing it in my computer because my phone is charging and I don't wanna take it off the charger. I did a random number from 1 to 5 and I got number 4. So that's gonna be the shade True. Is it True? Yeah, the metallic shade. And this is wonderful because it's a champagne shade. I think I could even hit pan on it. I don't want to hit pan on this eyeshadow palette because it's new and it's so tiny. But I think I could hit pan on it. And these are the other 2 shades that are from the palettes that stay behind the Franken palette. This is Cocoa from the Tropic palette and this is Cans from the ABH Ribera palette. Okay, so I already did the other 2 numbers. This is the weirdest, most matte eyeshadow combo that I've ever gotten in my life or that I would never use. So for this one, I got number 18 and it's this shade Cunnilingus. My goodness, these names. So it's this shade right here. It's a brown. This is the perfect transition shade. This has a lot of perfect transition shades. And you can see it right there underneath the Natasha Denona one. This feels super buttery. I really like the way it feels and I love the way they blend into the skin. I want to see if this eyeshadow palette, even though it has different shades, I want to see if they perform different on the eyes. So it's gonna be a good way to try it. And this one, even though I was hoping for a shimmery shade, I got number 24, which was this deep navy shade. It's called Delicious. And I'm so curious about how that eyeshadow will perform on my eyes because I've never done a navy look, I think, on my eyes because I don't think that I've ever had a navy eyeshadow. So that's gonna be interesting and I'm gonna play more with these colors. You guys know that I don't play with color often. So this is my color scheme for this month. And I don't know if I'll hit pan on them. You guys know that my goal is to hit 25 pans, but that I can rotate the palettes. And now I almost forgot, like last time I chose one eyeshadow, one random eyeshadow, counting all the eyeshadows on this project and I got this one. This was number 8 and this is an eyeshadow from the Sunrise palette and it goes with the color scheme and it's another metallic, thank God, and it's an eyeshadow that I can use a ton. I know that the next time you will see this Franken palette, it will have more pan and I will rotate the eyeshadows more. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that even if you have something to say something nice in the comments or say something the best way possible because I don't like hate in the comment section below, and I appreciate that my channel is not about hate. So even if a person deserves it, in a way we need to be better and do better. So that's it, you guys. That's it. I'm excited to try different formulas again. I'm excited to try for the first time a mini of Natasha Denona. So that's it, you guys. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to see your color scheme for this month, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.